hold up any of your time. So today, what we're doing here is, again, I'm Terad, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over just some general questions that you guys have been asking via DMs, via emails. Some of you guys out on the YouTube channel, Power of the BI. Some of you guys have been, leaving comments there or sending me direct messages there as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and clear up any questions you may have outside of the step-by-step process of creating a Power BI report, moving from the Power BI report phase to the human resource job phase. We're going to be just covering some of the basic information, because I get a lot of questions in regards to why and how and when and all that kind of stuff in regards to me and my personal information. So I'm going to be covering that here today. Again, I'm not normally live when I shoot my YouTube channel, and I'm definitely not normally live on Instagram. So this is my first time going live here on Instagram, but that's all good. I don't think that the video piece is going to be that much different, but I'm going to give you reasons for the play. I'm going to be giving you the reasons that I found to be reasons for the play here in Power BI. Now, what I want you to understand first and foremost is this. If you decide to take the course and you want to make the course an entrepreneurial type venture, to where you want to go out and you want to get contracts and build Power BI reports and data and do data analytics for organizations and companies like that, you're totally welcome to do so. Okay, you're totally welcome to do so. That's just an extra spunk, if that's still a word. I might be dating myself using the term spunk, but it definitely is an opportunity. It's a major opportunity out there if you wanted to do that. But for me, what I am going to do here is I am not pushing this from an entrepreneurial aspect, because I know that everyone, I'm not gonna say everyone is not built to be an entrepreneur. Everyone's not made to be an entrepreneur. I'm not gonna say that. What I'm gonna say is everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur, right? Everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. So some of us just want a job, right? Some of us just want a job, and a job that's going to treat us well. Now, treating us well could be being treated well by the individuals you work with, and it could be treating us well could also be meant by giving me the money that I think I deserve, right? And I definitely think that Power BI, I know that Power BI can get, I'm going to say about 99% of professions and jobs and careers, or whatever you want to call it, to the next level. So with that, again, this is not a money move by me. Of course, my class does cost, right? The class does cost, and I'll be totally honest. I mean, the class is $2,500. The webinar is free, right? The webinar is free, so it'll behoove you, if you're interested in Power BI, to at minimum join the webinar that's coming up on Sunday. But if you don't want to take the class, you don't have to take the class. When you get ready to take the class, you'll take the class. Or there could be other tech. There could be other tech opportunities out there that you may be looking at. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start at the top again. It's not a money move. It's not a money move. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you to go out and start a business. What I am saying is Power BI is an outstanding opportunity for individuals to take advantage of what is to come. And what I mean by what is to come, business intelligence. Business intelligence, very similar to artificial intelligence. Here's the deal. I've been in business intelligence longer than artificial intelligence has been out. Now, what does that mean? That means that artificial intelligence took a leap. It took a leap. And when we think of artificial intelligence, most people think of ChatGPT. I know that Canva and some of these other guys, they are, everybody's incorporating AI into their businesses or into their models. But business intelligence, very similar to artificial intelligence. And the thing is, business intelligence has not totally integrated, when I say not totally integrated, artificial intelligence as of yet. Business intelligence, most big companies are moving into Power BI. Some are moving into Tableau, but Power BI, of course, being a Microsoft product, is at the forefront of what's going on and the leader in this BI revolution. Now, what I mean by that is, eventually BI and AI are going to integrate. The information that's being used in AI, the information that's being captured in AI from a business perspective is going to be integrated into business intelligence. Now, the major component of business intelligence, I'm not going to say major because that could be misleading. One of the biggest components of business intelligence is the data visualization tools, right? The data visualization tools. And Power BI is a data visualization tool. And basically what it's doing is it's spitting out information. Now, I'll bring it back home in simpler terms. It's creating dashboards, right? I think at this point, most of us are familiar with dashboards. So with dashboards, we log onto a website and we see, let's just say using our electric utilities company. We log into our website for our utilities company and it tells us how much electricity we use this month, how much we used last month, the difference between the two, what our cost is, what our current cost is, what our cost was last month, the whole nine. Now, when we integrate AI, artificial intelligence, into that, what that is going to do is now we're going to be able to make projections using artificial intelligence, right? Again, AI and BI have not successfully. AI and BI really have not crossed paths yet, but the pathway is coming. I'm not going to get too deep into the AI side because that could kind of scare people off. And what I want you to understand is anyone can create a Power BI report. Anyone can create a dashboard using Power BI. Now, the more you do it, the better training you get, the better you're going to be at it, the more money you're going to make. Again, I'm not trying to make it seem like a money grab, and I'm not trying to seem like you're going to get a job in Power BI and you're going to get out there and start making, $600,000-$700,000 in a year. Not true. So I'm not going to mislead you. I'm not going to sell you on that. But what I will tell you is this: the average pay rate for a Power BI developer is $55 an hour. What that comes out to be is, I don't know. I think that's either 105 or 110 a year. Now, some of you guys probably already are making, six figures. So, maybe you're in the right place, maybe you're in the wrong place. I don't know. But what I'm saying is this: if you're looking to take whatever job you're doing to the next level, Power BI is where it's at, right? Now, I hear a lot of spooky things. People make a lot of spooky comments and they say, well, the robots are taking over, AI is taking over. And yeah, AI probably is going to catch a lot of jobs. But what I'm telling you, what I also want you to understand is in 2025, business intelligence is not one of those jobs it's going to take, right? Because it takes more than just a robot. It takes more than just an algorithm to create a Power BI report or a visualization report. Now, I could say visualization report. I could say a dashboard, but I'm going to say Power BI because that's what I do. I do Power BI. Have I done Tableau? Have I done Click? Have I done some of the other things? I have, but that's not what I do. I do Power BI and I teach Power BI. So when I say Power BI, it's going to be synonymous with data visualization. It's going to be synonymous with business intelligence, okay? And when I say Power BI is a Microsoft product, the BI in it is business intelligence. So I'm gonna say Power BI because that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking here in this presentation. So in 2025, AI is not going to take over Power BI, right? Now, eventually it's going to integrate, but when I say integrate, a Power BI developer is going to be able to use artificial intelligence to create a more dynamic dashboard. That's what's going to happen. But the robot is not going to come in and automatically create a more dynamic dashboard because there's something that has to happen intuitively that can't just, I don't like to use the word can't, that is not going to just happen with the robot or the algorithm saying, oh, I know what you're thinking. The one thing that we do know at this point, the algorithm does not know what we're thinking, right? And in order to create a dashboard, you've got to think it, you've got to visualize it, and then you've got to put it to paper or create it on a report. I'm going to leave that there because I know a lot of the AI developers out there are probably going to have some type of argument, but understand I'm very familiar with AI. I've been certified in artificial intelligence longer than artificial intelligence has been available to the general public. But with that said, I'm not going to get too much deeper into that. Again, it's not a money grab, but let's just say that you are, let's say that you're an accountant, right? Highly skilled professional, you went to school for 4 or 5 years, you have an MBA, maybe even a CPA, I don't know. CPA, you're probably not working for the company. So, you know, you're probably working for the company, undergraduate degree, you've got a master's degree in accounting. What I'm telling you is, I don't have a degree in accounting, and as a BI developer, what I have been able to do is create reports, right? Create balance sheets, financial balance sheets, income statements, cash flow analysis using Power BI. And at the end of the day, what Power BI is going to do is it's going to reduce the amount of time that you're going to need to participate in end of the month reporting, end of the quarter reporting, end of the year reporting, because it's gonna automate the process. Power BI is going to automate the process. So, as a person with a college degree, maybe even a master's degree, and skilled in your profession, you will be able to you can use Power BI and transfer those skills into a tech skill that will allow you to be able to make more money. Now, maybe you say you don't want to make more money. Maybe you just want to become more skilled within your profession. Go for it. Okay. Let's say that you're the secretary, the receptionist, right? A lot of the reports that you do, a lot of the things that happen on the front end within the organization, you can learn Power BI and be able to automate the process so that the person that you're reporting to, you're able to have those reports automated and spit out just for, you know, those reports that you're used to working with. Where I'm going with that is, whether you're at what we would consider to be the low end of the totem pole or the high end of the totem pole, Power BI, the skills that you have at your current job is going to be able to allow you to transfer those skills into the tech side, to where you're going to learn a tech skill that's going to make you more effective and more efficient within your organization. And to me, what does that equate to? That equates to more money. Okay. Now again, you may say you don't want more money. You just want to, you know, be better at what you do, and it'll allow you to be that too, if you just want to be better at what you do. But at the same time, what it's also going to allow you to do is, it's not going to pigeonhole you into a career. For instance, if you're an accountant and you learn Power BI, now you've learned a tech skill, you've taken your accounting skill and you transferred that to tech. Now you've got a tech skill that works across all disciplines. Okay, no matter what the discipline is. So whether you get another accounting job or whether you get a job in just data analytics for another company, it doesn't matter, because once you learn Power BI, Power BI is Power BI. A report is a report. The data is data, and the data is coming from the same place. Now you say, well, Tarad, no, the data is not coming from the same place. You are absolutely correct. The data is not coming from the same place. What I mean is the data is a source that's coming from somewhere, and when you bring that data into Power BI, that data is data. And then however you want to read that data, however you want to display that data, however you want to put that data out there, that's going to be up to you as a Power BI developer, right? So, that data could be coming from an Azure, from somewhere in Azure. That data could be coming from a SQL Server database. That data could be coming from an Oracle database. It doesn't matter. What I don't want you to do is get in your mind that Oracle, Azure, SQL. No, don't let that stuff throw you off, right? It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated, right? And I say that, and I don't want to play it down as if it's not. But at the end of the day, I look at it like this. Say you write a paragraph in a notebook. Let's say you write a paragraph in a notebook. Say you tear that paragraph. Say you tear that sheet out, that sheet out of the notebook, and you give it to someone. When you tear it out the notebook and you give it to someone, they're reading the paragraph that you gave them. It doesn't matter what notebook it came from, right? And then you could take that same sheet and give it to someone else, and they're going to be able to read it. And so what I'm saying is, it does not matter once you get that data into Power BI, it doesn't matter where it came from. So I don't want you to get afraid and get into your mind, oh, Power BI is spooky. It's, it's computer codes and programming. No. Power BI is a program that if you are a receptionist, if you are an accountant, if you are a finance professional, it brings everybody to the same playing field. Can you create a Power BI report? The answer to that is going to be yes, right? The answer to that is going to be yes. So just understand that it does not matter what level you're working at right now, what job you have. Your skills are transferable to Power BI to where you're going to be more valuable either to the organization you're with, or to the organization you're going to get hired to, or to your own organization. I don't want to beat that dead horse because, I just don't want to beat that dead horse. But just understand that the course that I teach is not just for individuals with college degrees and tech degrees. No, I don't have. Now, I'm not gonna say I don't have a college. I do have a college degree, but I don't have a degree in tech. Right? I learned this thing how I'm gonna teach this thing. So just understand that it's there, and understand that the starting salary is somewhere about $105 to $110 a year, which equates to about $55 to $57 an hour. The average is about 120, but I have seen numbers 160, 170. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of money left on the table, right? I'm gonna leave it alone because, again, I don't want you to think that this is a money grab, and I'm not trying to oversell you on learning Power BI or even taking my course, Power of the BI. So I touched on the differences between transferring those skills. Now, what I also want to touch on now is this. So, and I'm not throwing shade at anyone, right? Because I'm utilizing a lot of these resources myself. But there are a lot of gurus that are out there, whether they're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and they're talking about real estate and Airbnb and car rentals and all that kind of stuff. And to be honest, I'm doing all of those, right? I'm playing somewhere in all of that. I'm not an expert in any of them. I follow some of the gurus, or a couple. Well, I follow a guru or two, but at the end of the day, what I do know is, So let me back up. Before I got into Power BI, I was a school teacher. I was a fifth grade math, a fourth, fifth, and sixth grade math teacher, right? So that gives you some idea that pretty much anybody can do this. So with that said, what it has allowed me to do is some of the things that I wanted to invest in, some of the things that I wanted to do, some of the sandboxes that I wanted to play in. Power BI has allowed me to run such plays, right? The real estate, of course, making 6 figures plus compared to what I was making as a school teacher allowed me some additional resources to where I was able to, meet some personal needs in addition to playing the real estate game. Airbnb, I really haven't gotten into the Airbnb piece of it yet. I do plan to get into the Airbnb piece, but what I did do is get into the car rentals. I got into the trucking game. It has just allowed me to do some things that ordinarily I wouldn't have been able to do on a teacher's salary, right? And probably, yeah, when we talk face to face live on Sunday, I'll be able to share more in depth. I don't want to go too in depth here because this is it's too broad and uncontrolled. But I've been able to play in the real estate game, the car rental game, the trucking game, and been able to play comfortably because of my Power BI projects, for the lack of a better term. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you are one of those people and you're saying, hey, I'm seeing these guys out here, they're talking about buying real estate. I want to invest in real estate. They're talking about they're in the car rental game, but I just need an extra $400 or $500. What I'm telling you is, depending on, and I don't know, everybody is in a different situation, so I'm not trying to count anybody's pockets or anything like that. But I'm almost sure, no matter what your current position is, or what your current job title is, you will probably significantly increase your pay to the point to where you're able to do some of the things you want to do that you're saying you probably are not able to do right now. Now, again, I'm not trying to count anybody's pockets. I'm just looking at Tarad from a 4th, 5th, 6th grade teacher perspective, okay? But just understand that that's one piece that allowed me to do that. Another thing that Power BI has allowed me to do is increase my credit score. Now, again, there are gurus out there and they're saying, hey, when it comes to credit, you can get lines of credit and you can buy lines of credit over here. You can do X, Y, and Z. I've seen all that, and I'm not saying none of that doesn't work. I agree. I think it probably works. But what I'm also saying is there's another way, and another way is just to pay your bills. It's just to pay your bills. Then you say, well, Tarad, if I could pay my bills, I wouldn't have an issue. And what I'm saying is, Power BI has, now again, I'm only speaking from my perspective. These are the questions that I've received via DMs, whether it be YouTube. Again, for those that have not had a chance to go out to my YouTube channel, Power of the BI, please do so. All the information out there. I'm not going to say all the information, but I give away a lot of information for free out at Power of the BI on YouTube. But the questions that I'm getting, what I'm doing now is I'm answering the questions that you guys have sent me via DMs, via comments on YouTube, via emails, and some of you guys that know me personally, they're sending me text messages because you see different movements or different plays that I'm making. So what I'm doing is answering those questions, right? I'm just being me. I'm answering the questions. So credit score wise, I ain't gonna lie, my credit score was shot, right? I could come up with a lot of excuses of why it was shot. I'm not even gonna go into those excuses because, again, this is too widespread. But for those that will be meeting with us on doing the webinar on Sunday. I have no problem with sharing the information, but what I will say is my credit score was shot, right? And no, I didn't buy any of the trade lines that I found or that I was being introduced to on YouTube, and sending a letter here and doing X, Y, and Z. What I did was I paid my bills, and how I was able to pay my bills is I was able to make more money. Just to be totally transparent, as a teacher, I was making right at about $50,000 a year, 48, 49, 50, depending, maybe 51. As a Power BI developer, off top, I was making 110, off top. So I doubled my salary. Off top, I doubled my salary. Now, again, I'm not gonna go too much deeper into the money piece, but again, Sunday, I'm totally transparent, but again, I don't want to go too deep here into Instagram because this could go all kind of ways. But what I'm saying is, I at minimum was able to double my salary in one clean swoop. So what did that allow me to do? The $10,000 on the credit card that was holding me hostage and had my credit score shot, I immediately was able to pay that off. Okay, immediately. And then I was able to get more credit. So I don't want to call it a play, because a play means a play kind of make it seem like it's a game. But it allowed me to pay the bills, and it allowed me to get more credit, and getting more credit increased my score. And increase my score and increase my score and increase my score to the point now to where it's ridiculous. Now, and again, this is not a credit game. This is not a credit class. This is simply saying, hey, I'm not saying you, I'm saying I was in a situation to where I needed to make some money moves, and I wasn't able to make the money moves because all my money was spent before I received my money. But when I learned Power BI and I learned the moves of Power BI, it allowed me to, at minimum, and I will emphasize, at minimum, double my salary. Once I was able to do that, I saw how this thing could work. And it, again, I'm not gonna go that much deeper into that. So what it has done for me, one, is allowed me to make some investments. Again, the real estate, the car rentals, the trucks, increase the credit score, which of course he had to increase his credit score in order to play that game. Even increased business, it actually got business lines of credit that I really didn't even, I don't say want, but I really didn't need it. Need, they're about the same. But bottom line is, what it did for me, and I'm saying what it probably can do for you, is put you in a situation to where money does not necessarily have to be a problem. And again, this is not a get rich quick deal. This is something that you do have to learn. It is something that I do provide a mentorship to or for. But if you put the work in, and when I say put the work in, we're talking about it's a 16-week course. If you put the work in, I'm going to find it highly unbelievable that you won't be able to find a gig within the Power BI profession. Now, here's the deal. If you want to, the fully remote positions are not like they used to be. The fully remote positions are not like they used to be. But the fully remote positions are more likely in tech than they are in other industries. Okay? If you're a receptionist, you probably are going back into the office. If you're an accountant, you're probably going into the office, or it's probably hybrid. Now, in tech, there is less jobs than was a few years ago remote. But the jobs now, there are some hybrid, there are some remote, and there are some on-site. What I'm saying is with Power BI, you can pretty much pick your poison. Now, picking remote for your poison is going to take you probably a little while longer. And of course, with all the stuff that's going on with jobs and government jobs and the number of employees that that's been laid off with the government jobs and stuff like that, the competition is higher, but it's not impossible. Okay, but with that said, if you want to work remote, you're more likely to work remote in tech, and I know so in Power BI, but there are other tech professions outside of being a Power BI developer or a data analyst, and a lot of those jobs are similar to Power BI, to where those jobs can be remote. Companies are requesting hybrid, and many are requesting to come on site. But what I'm telling you is, if you got the time, you've got the opportunity to say, nah, either I don't want to be on site, or I don't want to be hybrid, or I don't want to be remote. What I'm saying is, the option is more, if you want to work remote, the options are more likely in tech than in most other professions. I'm not going to beat that dead horse, because I know that's going to be a question that's going to be a hot topic on Sunday during the free webinar. So I'll move on from there. So this is what this looks like. So currently, what I'm doing is I'm answering the questions in regards to, answering some questions in regards to DMs, comments that have been sent over to me via Instagram, inside of YouTube, emails, text messages. I'm just trying to get all this information out now, because what I want to do in order to make this thing the most successful on Sunday is we get rid of the fluff. You know, off top, this is not going to be a money grab. You know, off top, this is not a get rich quick scheme. You know, off top, if you put the work in and you're serious about taking your skill sets to the next level, the money can be there. And I know money is probably not a major motivator for most people, or for a lot of people. For me, I'm not gonna lie, money is a major motivator. I can go inside the office, and people can talk crazy. As long as they don't touch me and my check clears, I'm good. I'm on Zoom and they can talk crazy, I'm good. But when my check don't clear, then I got a problem. Now, you may be someone that say, hey, I'm not worried about money. I just want to be nice to people. I want people to, just everybody be friendly, because love is what makes the world go round. And that's cool. That's not me, but that's cool, right? But what I'm saying is, the course is a 16-week, my course, Power of the BI, and you can find my course, Power of the BI, at powerofthebi.com. You can find my course at powerofthebi.com. It's a 16-week course. It's not easy. I'm there to guide, but I'm not there to hold your hand. I'm not there to overteach. I'm not there to oversimplify. I am there to be a mentor. I'm not going to get too deep into all of that, because again, that's something that we're going to be talking about on Sunday during the free webinar. But I just want to, I don't even know why I said all that. But again, the webinar is going to be Sunday, and for those that participate in the webinar is going to be it's totally free webinar. I am going to be giving a full full demonstration of a Power BI tutorial, and I'm going to be open to questions and answers. Well, I'll be open to questions and I will be answering. It will definitely be live. Here's the deal. The webinar is not going to be set for an hour. If you want to come in for an hour, you can. If you don't want to, if you just want to jump in and jump out, hey, this is some bull crap, I'm not interested. Cool, just jump right out. It's okay. I told you, I've tough skin. I won't be offended. But the webinar is going to be a free webinar. Again, it's not going to be limited to an hour. I'm going to answer as many questions as you guys have. there on the spot, because I think that is important for you to feel good about, hey, this is a good pivot, a good career pivot for me. Or, you know, you may already be in Power BI and you say, hey, you know, there's some things you're trying to learn that you don't already know. So, you know, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is I'm going to sit there and I will answer every question until there are no more questions. But the tutorial itself will probably be about 45 minutes. If you go over to my YouTube channel, Power of the BI, and look at one of the Power Money Monday videos, it doesn't matter which one. I think I did one for Apple, Walmart, CVS. I think I did one for Ford. You can look at any one of those, and the tutorial will be very, very similar to one of those. I mean, the webinar will be very, very similar to one of those. I won't be doing anything to do with stocks, financial statements, looking at the 10K, 10Q reports, anything like that. So if you look at one of the Power Money videos, I think a few of those I actually go through the 10K, 10Q stocks, and then I put those different visualizations in the Power BI report. I'm not going to be doing that in the webinar. It'll be strictly Power BI, but it'll be strictly showing you how to create a Power BI report from beginning to end. And we're going to try to do that in somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. Then I'll take questions on the Power BI report. Then I'll take questions on anything else dealing with me. I mean, I'll be totally open, totally transparent, probably more transparent than what I probably should be. But I think it's super important that you guys feel comfortable for those that participate. Now, after the free webinar, I will offer you free mentorship, and the free mentorship is thepowerofthebi.com. I will offer you the free mentorship. You listen, this is not a money grab, and this is not going to be a hard sell. If you don't find from the webinar and from the questions and answers that Power BI is not for you, or Power of the BI is not for you, trust me, you will not be locked in with handcuffs saying you've got to sign up, right? No, that's not going to be the case, right? Those that want mentorship want to be, well, and what I'm calling mentorship is my program, powerofthebi.com. I'll present that to you. If you're interested, we'll roll. If you're not interested, that's good. That's cool. The mentorship will start on Monday. And at that point, it's going to be on me to mentor you into the right direction, to where over the next 16 weeks, you will be able to feel comfortable in applying for one of these six-figure plus jobs in the next 16 weeks. I'll leave that there. Again, I don't want to make it seem like this is a money grab. I don't want to make this seem like that the job opportunities is all about money, because everybody may not be motivated by money. At the end of the 16-week period, actually at the 20-week mark, I am going to be hosting a live event here in Dallas. For those that are part of the mentorship, you will be invited. It's totally free let me back up. The access to the event will be totally free. It won't be totally free for flying in or driving in or staying at a hotel or nothing like that, but I will be setting up accommodations to make it super cool for you. But at the end of the day, I'll be doing a live event. Now, let me back up. So during the mentorship, I will be meeting with you guys once a week. I'll be meeting with you once a week. We'll be talking projects. We'll be talking about where you are in the process. Everything the course that I have is all set up online, so you can work at your own pace. Actually, just to share a story with you. I did something I participated in a boot camp years ago, but it wasn't necessarily a Power BI boot camp, but it was a data boot camp. And at the end of the day, what it was a 16-week course. It was straight rigorous. It was crazy. And me and my friend that I met in the course, we were talking, and we would be up late at night, and we'd be, finishing up homework and stuff like that. Excuse me. We'd finish some homework. And my thing was, I was very skeptical. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I think it cost us $2,000. It was $2,000 a piece. And I was like, man, again, I'm a school teacher, so $2,000 is a lot of money to me. Now, $2,000 may not be a lot of money to you, but $2,000 is a lot of money to me. So I was like, damn, I said, I don't know if this gonna work. I say, but right now I ain't got no choice. If it don't work, I lost $2,000. If it does work, because the guy that was teaching the course, he said, the minimum salary that you're gonna get after you finish this course is $80,000. Now again, at this time, I'm making slightly less than $50,000. So I'm like, cool. To be honest, I'm not gonna say I didn't believe it, but I was like, worst case scenario, worst case scenario, I lose $2,000. Best case scenario, I get an $80,000 job. So throughout the process, that's what he was saying. But it was the course was designed to be a 16-week course, right? What I did was, the way that it was set up was that if you complete two modules per day, 2 modules per week, you would finish, 4 modules per week, you would finish the course in 16 weeks on time. Well, I was like, well, if I can finish 4 modules a week and I can finish in 16 weeks, if I do 8 modules a week, then I can finish in 8 weeks. So I went balls to the wall. Me and the person that was in the course with me, that we actually met in the course. We were real good friends at this point, and we kind of communicate and stuff like that when we're going through different job situations. But I went balls to the walls for 8 weeks. I went balls to the walls for 8 weeks, and I was doing double the work, right? And she was doing double the work too. Well, at the end of, I was trying to be done in 8 weeks. It actually took me 8 weeks and like 2 or 3 days. But what I did do is I ended up finishing the course in half the time. Now, where I'm going with that is, this is going to be this course is different from that course. I took some of the trainings that I got from that course, and I created this course. But where I'm going with that is, this is a self-paced course. So if you finish, you can finish in 8 weeks, or you can finish in 16 weeks. And if you just go crazy, you might be able to finish in a month. Now, I really doubt if you're able to finish in less than 6 weeks. But, if you got the time, you could finish. I don't know. I do believe you could finish in 8 weeks. But where I'm going with this is that it is a 16-week course, and it is self-paced. We'll be meeting once a week on Zoom, going through the mentorship and talking through some of your strategies once a week. But let's say you do finish in 8 weeks. You still can finish out the session, and I'll help you take even that knowledge to the next level, so that this is not set up to where you've got to be here and you've got to be here for 16 weeks. No, if you get this information and you go balls to the wall and get this information done, get it in, you get it in, right? I'm gonna leave that there again, because I could beat that dead horse. But so the free webinar is Sunday, then the mentorship is once a week for 16 weeks. Then on the 20th week, which would be the month after the course would officially end, we're going to have a live event in person. It's going to be dope. And again, for those that participate in the mentorship, your access to the event is going to be free. For those that are interested in coming to the live event because you're interested in Power BI, you will have access to purchasing a ticket to come. What I'm telling you is, it's going to be dope. Moving right along. So here's the deal. A lot of guys say, I'm not really a tech guy. I don't really know anything about computer programming. My math is not that good. Listen, you do not have to be a computer programmer. You do not have to be um, a high level math person, right? Now, here's the deal. I'm not even gonna say that because that'll throw you off. You do not have to be, it's not all about computer coding. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that there's no coding because there is. But Power BI, there's low coding, which means there's not the type of coding that you would, somebody that's a C Sharp, C++, Java. If you want to, you could incorporate Python into your reports. Now, as I said before, when we was talking about the AI and the BI, the artificial intelligence and the business intelligence and them integrating, the integration point is going to be using Python. Now, with that said, today, the integration of AI and BI is slim to none. The amount of Python that you really need for a basic Power BI report is slim to none. When I say basic, I'm talking about from a very entry-level developer to a moderate developer. Actually, I'm the only person that I know that use Python to build reports. And what I tell most companies that are trying to incorporate Python right now into a Power BI report is that they're wasting their time, right? They're just trying to, they're just wasting their time. So what I'm telling you is that's not something that you've got to worry about. There is a computer language that is known for Power BI, and it's called DAX, D-A-X, for anybody that want to go out there and do some research. DAX, I think that stands for Data Analytics Expressions. DAX is what we use for Python. DAX is what we use for Power BI. Again, don't let the computer programming language stuff throw you off and make you feel as if that's not something that you want to do. But again, DAX is a language, DAX is the primary language for Power BI. Python is the coming language. So if you're a Python, if you're a computer developer right now, computer scientist, whatever, and you know Python, that's great, fine and dandy. What I'm telling you is you probably are not going to need that for the next 2.5 years, maybe. It could be even more than that. Again, what I will highly emphasize is, yes, AI is taking over a lot of jobs. Power BI is not one of those jobs. Okay. Now, something could happen. We could wake up in the morning and somebody can say, "Oh, well, AI is now doing business analytics." What I'm saying is that in order to create a Power BI report, it takes some thinking, then it takes some producing. It's not about a computer algorithm that's going to do the thinking, right? An algorithm basically is just taking information and then spitting information back out based on the information that is collected, right? A Power BI report is not that. Can it be that? Eventually, but today, that's not what it is, okay? So if you're looking for a way, or you're looking for a potential job maybe that, can be AI proof, at least I'm gonna say for the next 3 years, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. Again, so DAX is the primary language for Power BI. Python can be used, but not necessarily. And Python is not even that dynamic when it comes to Power BI right now. SQL, which is the base language for DAX, you're going to probably see some SQL in my course. You're going to learn SQL and you're going to learn DAX. So, I'm not going to go too deep into that, because if you're out there now and you're saying, hey, SQL and DAX, I can't do that. Listen, I was a 4th, 5th, or 6th grade math teacher, okay? It don't get more basic than that, right? So what I'm telling you is, don't let the computer languages spook you off to where you're like, I'm not gonna further my career. I'm not gonna do it. Now, I had a video out there on TikTok, so let me back up. So, of course, I've got this channel, the Instagram channel, but my primary channel is the YouTube channel, and that's where I'm, just, if you want to know what I'm doing, if you want to see what's going on, if you want to see all the free stuff that I'm throwing out there, go to my YouTube channel, Power of the BI. Now, Also have a TikTok channel. Again, it's Power of the BI. And I had this guy that I guess he considered himself to be a computer specialist or something like that. I don't know. Tech specialist, I'm not sure. But he was like, oh, well, you've got to learn Azure Data Factory. No, you don't. No, you don't. So ADF, which is Azure Data Factory, Microsoft Fabric. Fabric pretty much encompasses Power BI, but that's something we'll talk about. We can talk about it in the webinar, but we'll probably talk about it more so during the mentorship because it's just what it is. But Azure Data Factory is a portal where companies are set up to, I guess, do the admin work for Power BI, Azure, Fabric, pretty much everything in the cloud, everything Azure, Microsoft, right? You don't have to be an Azure, you don't have to know Azure Data Factory to be successful in Power BI. So if you decide you want to sign up or you want to take the course, you're interested in Power BI, no, you don't have to. Now, let me back up. Yes, it's good to know a little bit of other things outside of Power BI, and some of those things we'll talk about. We can't talk about it in the webinar, but we'll definitely talk about it in the mentorship. But it's impossible. Matter of fact, so I know several programmers that program in C, C++. I know several programmers that program in Java. I know several programmers that program in Python, and none of the guys that I know that program in any of those program in all of those. Now, they may say, I know a little bit about that, but they don't program in everything. So what I'm telling you is, you don't have to know everything about everything in order to be good at this. Okay? Power Money, again, Power Money Mondays. I do Power Money Mondays where I create free Power BI reports. I put them out there on my YouTube channel, out at Power of the BI. And it's free information. It's free information. It's showing you how to create a Power BI report. It's free information. So if you decide you don't want to take the course, that's cool. But anyway, we've covered a lot. If you have any questions, shoot me a shoot me a DM. Let's do this. Leave them in the comments so that everybody can see what the questions are, and I will do my best to respond to those questions in the comments, because what I want to do is when we get to the webinar on the free webinar, as I may say, and it's not a trick, it's a free webinar, 100%. If it was live, well, I give you a free Sprite. But when we get to the webinar on Sunday, I want to have all the house cleaning questions out of the way. I want everything to be about Power BI. I want, how do you do this? How do you do that? How much money can I really make? How much money have you really made, right? How many jobs are really out there? That's where I want to go. So I'm really trying to answer these I'm going to call them supplemental questions off top. So if you can help me out, leave comments in the leave a comment with your questions. For those that have not registered already for the webinar, I don't want to give out misinformation. If you go to one of my last 3 or 4 one of my last 3 or 4 Instagram videos, go to the descriptions. As a matter of fact, yeah, don't do that. Go to the description, and it'll tell you to leave a comment or comment a specific word. Go there and comment that word, and you will be sent the registration link for the free webinar on Sunday. Again, the tutorial, the webinar itself is not going, with the tutorial of the project is not going to be much longer than 30 to 45 minutes. But I'm going to answer as much of the questions that you may have and be as transparent as possible. So with that said, thank you for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.